It's time to get some answers when it comes to the weather. We're here now in the Weather Center with meteorologist Adam Sherwinski for another Ask Your Meteorologist segment.
Hello.
Adam, how's it going?
It's going all right. It's going all right, Ryan.
I'm enjoying this cooler weather we've been having.
I am too. And we'll talk more about fall here in just a second, but I want to talk about, my favorite thing to talk about whenever I do
This
AYM.
week in weather history.
This past week in weather history, yeah, exactly. And we're talking about something kind of cool out there. We are talking about photographs, and two historic ones I want to talk about. First one there, this was the earliest proper, there was other ways of doing photography and kind of capturing things back in the day, photograph of lightning taken by William Jennings in Philadelphia. We'll show that here in just a second. And that was back on the 2nd of September in 1882. 1884, on August 28th, F.N. Robinson takes the second oldest photo of a tornado near Howard, South Dakota. Interestingly enough, for a long time, they thought that was the oldest picture. However, they found out, later on, they found another photo that was dated 4 months earlier in April in Garrett, Kansas, of the first tornado ever caught on a photograph. So let's take a look at those pictures real quick. There it is, the first photograph, lightning, the proper photograph, I should say. You can tell it needs some editing right there a little bit to kind of meet modern standards, but that's from 1882. And then there it is. I think you've probably seen this in a textbook or something before. This is from Howard, South Dakota, F.N. Robinson, and it's in the South Dakota Museum. One of the museums there kind of has their collection for weather, because South Dakota does get some pretty cool weather. But, we're talking about all this stuff going on with weather and storms and, photographs. And I know one thing I like to do is kind of look at the leaves, and I love it when people take pictures of the leaves. And we're talking about fall today, right?
Autumn or fall, whatever you prefer. I got to say, though, on that second picture, kind of looked like my dental x-rays. We've come a long way when it comes to quality. Right. But yes, we do have questions when it comes to the fall. And that question is, what is meteorological? Am I saying that right, Al?
Meteorological.
Meteorological fall, and what makes it different from when fall starts on the calendar?
All the time I mention we're in meteorological fall here in September. And really, the difference is, let's kind of talk about the astronomical kind of point of view with it, too. We always talk about fall. It ends up being on, the equinox. Later this month, we're going to have the autumn equinox. That's there on September 22nd, around that time period. So keep that in mind. But you'll notice that it's at 7:43 in the morning. That's when it's going to start on September 22nd. That's the official start to fall.
There's an actual time.
Oh yeah, it's
that
right
is
there.
New to me.
Right
that
there,
is fascinating.
Yeah. There's a calendar date. Specific time at a specific second too as well. That's really cool to see. You'll notice too that the reason why we're kind of talking about that astrologically is because it kind of matches up with the spring equinox as well. Autumn, spring, that's when you get equal distribution of light or sunlight there directly over the equator there. So it's really cool to see how that kind of pans out. But we don't talk about that in terms of meteorology, because climatology and our data that we get doesn't really match up exactly with where things are in the sky charts. What we use it for in meteorology terms is we talk about meteorological fall, meteorological winter, spring, and summer. It's actually just markers for when we collect that data. So from September 1st all the way to November 30th, that's going to be meteorological fall, and this is what we use it for, data. And we use it in year-end reviews. This is last year's year-end review for the National Weather Service there in Lincoln, and you'll see that we have all that data collected from the 1st to the 30th here. So that's a collection of data, and then we do it between those spans because 4 seasons, 4 little time slots, 4 divided by 3, 3 months, there you go. You kind of do the math. 91 days times 4, 364 days. So keep that in mind. So we use it more for data than going off of the calendar.
Well, you guys may love the data, but I'm a huge fan of how it feels outside.
Yeah.
Definitely love that cooler weather. All right, Adam, thanks so much. If you have a question that you'd like to ask Adam, there's the info on the screen. Send it in. We'd love to feature it on Ask Your Meteorologist.